Hey, it's Renee with Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator. And as you know, or might not know, today is the last day for Saleabration. And so I'm going to highlight one more time the Eden's Garden set and the dies in particular to show you how to use these great dies to make these really cute baskets. And this stamp set is on sale. And so again, this will be great. It is Tuesday. It is around 11:15, and I decided to come on because of what it is today. All right. So I'm going to go live. So I'll be back with you in just a second. All right. So let's look at these fun Easter baskets and how I do them. So this is the style that I'm going to show you today, and how to make this cute little Easter basket with this great Eden's edge. All right. And I'm going to be using this paper, which we'll talk about in a second. This sheet, what you need for this, okay. Well, let's do it this way. I'm going to go ahead and show you the other Easter basket, and using the same idea, same steps, except for the die cutting. This is the larger size, and this is what I do with my baskets. Okay, so these are the two fun baskets that that you can make for the Easter holiday or any time at all. Okay, so let's look at this one, and let's look at what I used. So what I used are the Eden's dies, right? I used the Eden's dies, and I went ahead and this is the die that I used. I'm going to show you how I use that. Okay. And so that is the die. I am going to use for both of these, whether you're making the small one or the large one, an 8.5 by 11 is sufficient for this one in particular. All right. So for the small one, what you're going to do is you're going to cut a sheet of paper at 8 3/4 by 7. So that is 8 3/4 by 7. And you are going to go ahead and cut off first off of the 8.5. You're going to cut off to 7 so that you have this 1.5 inch strip. You will need that because that is used for the handle. Now you don't need it as thick as it is because it's 1.5 inches, and I simply make it 1 1.25 inches. All right. If you want it that thick, you may get it that thick. Then you're going to cut the bottom off. All right. And that you're going to cut to the 8 3/4. Okay, so this is your extra piece of paper that is left. You will then go ahead and you score each side. You're simply going to score at 2 1/4. That's how you make these great, easy little baskets. Just score at 2 1/4 for this one. Okay, everywhere, each side. And then you're going to go ahead and use your bone folder and crease all of these edges. You're going to make sure they're well creased. All right. So you definitely want to burnish these down, and that's because of the corners when you're going to glue it all together. Okay. So now what you do, okay, to get this, all right, before you can actually die cut, you do have to cut, okay, so that you can glue the basket together. So how you do this is really, really easy. You're going to go ahead and in each of the corners, you are simply going to cut a piece off. Now, it can be anywhere. I think on this one, I was more precise on this. And so I made it to 3/8 of an inch if you want to know the measurement. So each one of these are going to have to be anywhere from 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. You can go ahead and cut these out. All right. And so I'm going to not be as exact because I'm going fast. But this is what you're going to have to do before you die cut this basket. It's so easy and so fun. I love making this basket. 2 years ago, I made this basket for the very first time. I have a video. I will, in the comments, attach that video so that you can see it. Okay, so now you are ready to die cut these edges. All right, so here are your edges that you're going to be die cutting. And I will show you how to do that. So you are going to go ahead and take your plates. All right. And you definitely need your Post-it note tape or whatever, washi tape or whatever you use. Okay. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. You can definitely on the front side. Okay, on the front side. So let's say that this is going to be my front side right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place, this is my front, so I'm going to place my dies right here. And I actually take it to that corner with this die, and I go ahead and level it right here. And of course, if you have other dies, I'm sure you can do it with other dies, but since this is free in Saleabration, I wanted to show that. So I want to do it like that and like that. Make sure it's taped down, and you definitely have to make sure this is taped down. So this is the side I'm going to cut, right? So what I have to do is I have to fold this over. I fold it on top so I don't get any of the markings from my plate. My plates are pretty old. I just cleaned them today. Then I go ahead, definitely tape it down, otherwise it won't stay. Make your sandwich and cut, right? So now, for the next one, you do the exact same thing. You want to make sure, though, that this is not folded down, that this has to be folded up so we don't get all those lines from the plate. Now, depending on what side, now, if you want the good side to be here, okay, so then let's say that you want both your outsides of your like the blue one is, like my little one is. If you want that one for both to be on the outside, right? Sorry, on the outside like that, right? What you're going to do then is you are going to, I would mark down exactly where it is, because you sometimes can get confused when you're working with this, and place it right here. Okay, and again, glue it down same way, place it and go through. Again, you don't want this down, you want this up, so you're going to fold that up. That's just fine. Make sure it's up the flap. Okay. If on the other side, this one, what I did is I put the good side of the die on the inside, so that when I was looking at it, at the container, both good sides were showing. And you might want to do that. And then since this is the back side, it doesn't matter if that's the back side and it's flatter. As you know, on any die, there's a good side and a bad side. So I made this the good side and this the good side. On the original, I made this the good side and this the good side. You just have to decide aesthetically what you prefer, but whichever side you prefer, when you put it through the machine, make sure that that extra flap is always on top All right, that's all that is most important. Okay, so once I cut that out and that out, I'm ready to move. And here are some little squares that are left to go ahead and do whatever you like to do with them. All right, so we have that. And so we end up with this. All right. Okay, so those are those pieces. Now, as far as designer series paper goes, all right, now there are different sets that are going to work beautifully with this. And today I decided to use, of course, the Saleabration paper because it is the last day. And this is the Saleabration. There is a stamp set and die set. I cut them out by hand. Day at the farm. I bought myself 2 packs of this because I think this will be great all summer long. All right. And so at the day at the farm, this is the one. Then there's this one. Then there's this one. Then there's this one. That's what I'm using now. And then there's this one. This one's for a different kind of card for sure. And then there's this one, right? The other sides. You have this for that. You have flowers. I mean, it's a perfect, perfect set. You have the hives, which I used. I love the hives, little dots. Look at this. That's what I love about Saleabration papers is they're so versatile. You can use them for so long. Look at this. Isn't that cute? Opa. And this. So that's that paper. All right. So that's the paper I'm using today. You can use, I think, the great paper that's in the catalog that you might want to use is the Rain or Shine paper. This paper I have shown you, I am sure, but this paper is absolutely gorgeous and fun, and also has die cuts and cutouts and little animals and rain and beautiful, beautiful. And then the blue sky. Look at this one. Look at this one. Isn't that great? Beautiful, gorgeous paper. Gorgeous, gorgeous paper. You could use this paper for if you're looking for something to buy so that you can get the freebies. This paper and this whole bundle is definitely worth it. That's for sure. The other thing, if you bought some materials for Valentine's, I think that this paper for Easter will be great. I think you can use this side, and I'll show you that in a second again. Look at the flowers. Look at that. And look at these stripes. Look at that. Okay, great for, I think, July. All right, so that's what's so great about these papers. Oh, and this has the floral on there. Look at that. Isn't that great? And then this one is great. This side is great. All right. So if you have extra paper from this, I would definitely use this. And you see here in the countryside, or even with the Rain or Shine set, the bikes, I don't know if you can see that, the bicycles work perfectly. Look how cute. I love putting things on the inside. I think that's always a treat. Okay, so the pieces that you're going to need, all right, is you're going to need a strip of designer paper that is anywhere from 11 to 12 inches. It's not important. The ends are going to get hidden. Okay, and I put that strip over that 1 1/4 by 11 that I did get from cutting the original piece. So that's really handy. Then you're going to need, I put a piece down here always, and that piece is going to be a 4 by 2 1/4. This is a 4 by 2 1/4 here. Then I'm going to put these pieces here, right? And these pieces, because I cut this out, right? Because I cut that out, it's going to be about a 1.25, no, 1.5, it's 1.5 wide, sorry, by 4. These are 1 and 2, 1.5 by 4. And then I'm going to need these two areas, and those are 2 by 2.25. The 2 by 2.25. All right. And that's really all you need. And then you need some cutouts. And we'll talk about those in just a moment. Any cutout will work. You'll see that in a second. So I decided that at first I was going to put this down, but I decided not to. And I decided that I much prefer this paper down here. So now it's simply time to glue this together. And what I am going to do is I am going to go ahead and put that piece in. All right. You can see here the vegetables. This is a nice summertime set. So if you still have some items you want to get, I suggest getting them today. If you're going to get them like, oh, I'm going to do next month and da. Well, actually, today is still better because of all the freebies. All right. And so it really is better to go ahead and do the freebies. So I'm going to do that first. All right. So here are my edges, and this is what I'm going to do. First of all, I glue the edge that is actually die cut. That's what I'm going to do. All right. And then I'm also, when I put them together, you will notice that this is taller. This side is going to be taller because, of course, I cut it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little snip down here. Just like that. And just like that on those corners. Now, some corners might need them and others not, depending on how you put your die in there. And so this way they meet up better and nothing's protruding. So that's what I prefer to do. I don't know if you can see that, but that's how that works. I got to get that out of there. So there you go, just like that. All right. So now I'm going to glue this edge. And you really do have to make sure that you used your bone folder, okay, to get those creases, because otherwise this doesn't fold correctly, the edges. And all you do is you're going to fold that down. You're going to fold that down and pinch. You're going to fold that down and pinch. There you go. And you find out which way it wants to go. Go to that edge and you find out which way it wants to go. It's going to fold over one way or the other. It's going to want to fold over one way or the other. Then once you find out which way mine wants to fold over onto this edge versus the other edge, that's good. Then I'm simply going to use my bone folder to make sure that I get that creased. There you go. There you go. And there you are. Now, for some reason, I didn't cut these quite as straight as I would like to. So I'm just going to cut that off just a little bit so that it's even. Because I want that even. So there was a little edge there and I just cut it off. And there you go. There you go. Perfect. And again, if you see anything that you don't like, you can always just snip it off. Like that. Like that. And like this. I usually like to snip it before I glue it, but that's okay. I didn't get far enough down. There we go. So you just snip a little piece off, and there you go. And then your front's great. There you go. I'm going to turn on this light, see if that's better for you. That might be. Okay. So anyway, Here we go. Again, I'm going to just cut this. I'm just going to glue this, and I am going to probably cut that edge off, I'm sure, but I'm going to bring them together. Yeah, you see how tall that edge is? And so you definitely want to cut that edge off. Again, you're just going to cut that edge off. From this way to that way, then you're set. And again, you're just going to push that in, push those two together, and then use that bone folder to go ahead, crease that down, and then just snip off whatever you like there to make it look nice and clean. And then here again, I'm going to snip it before because, and you can mark it with a pencil if you like. That sometimes is advantageous. I'm going to snip it right there. I was pretty much eyeballing it, but of course you can be more exact pretty easily. Each side will be a little different because of how it works. And then again, go ahead, find out which side it wants to fold down onto. So you're just going to go ahead and do this and this, and then put that bone folder down in there. Just putting that bone folder down in there like this. And all of them. That side worked beautifully. There you go. That's so cute. And then your final piece. Again, you're going to have to snip that off so you can go ahead and kind of draw a line. Then I'm going to snip that off. And then glue it together. Of course, you can see them before and then snip them all off before you glue it together. So that means that before I put it together, I would go ahead and see how it fits and then snip them off beforehand. Seems like a lot of glue to me. Don't like that much glue. So there you go. Find out which side it wants to bend towards. On the inside, it has a preferred side to bend. Just go with the flow. Could be left, it could be right. There you go. Again, just if there's a little excess, that's not even enough excess to bother me. So there you go. Those are your corners. These corners now, if you don't, I don't mind seeing the corners on the inside. You can glue them down if you want to. Right here, you can go ahead and take that flap. Sorry, you can take that flap, okay, glue it, and then glue it down. I don't, because I always fill them with stuff, so it's not a bother to me. You can also, of course, have designer paper now on the inside if you like. You can fit that in there. Dimensions might be a little bit bigger because you might want to cover the flaps just an 1/8 of an inch bigger than the outsides were. All right. And so that's how that works. And again, sometimes it'll want to go this side, sometimes this side. Just go with the flow, see how it wants to bend. All right, there's that. Okay, so next we can go ahead and put that on. And of course, then you can go ahead. Now, I know I do things always differently, but you're going to choose which one. This one's going to go on the back side for me. So of course you can put these all on beforehand before you close it up. All right. And but I mean, it's so easy. I like to have it closed and done before I glue this on because it is fairly easy. And then I can see exactly where to put it, and it ends up more exact for me if it's done. And since it really, there is no stamping or anything, it's just gluing it on, then this works out better. So this is the front for me. And I'm doing it just the way I want it. On the front. And of course, as it lies flat, you can put everything you want on each of the edges. Okay, you can put your inside in, then this, but this way I don't make a mistake. I don't do it upside down. I don't get confused. A lot of times I get left, right, up and down confused. It is one of my issues. And so for me, it's always better to do it this way because it's just easier. I know that I'll get it correct. So it depends on you. All right. So anyway, so on the bottom, I just wanted to show you, I did stamp, and you can stamp on the bottom, of course, that you would do beforehand. All right. Or you can put down a label down here if you'd like on the bottom. That would be great. Also a really pretty label, and then glue that on if you like. But that one, I had put that on before. Okay, so now we got those. Now we're going to get our sides on. And here's the one side. Then I'm going to show you all the different things you can put on here. Your imagination can carry you anywhere you like. And that's why I love these. It's like you can have flowers, you can have bunnies, you can have all kinds of insects, bees, ladybugs. There's just tons of stuff that you can do here with this. And this really is easy to glue on this way. I mean, it really, I don't see it any more trouble than lying flat because it really is easy. Okay, so now what you would do is you'd go put this on. But before we do that, I'm going to show you something about what I would do. And then you're going to glue on the outside and then just stick it in the middle. And that's really, you know, all you have to do there. But a lot of times what I do is I glue down my happy Easter. So I go ahead and have like a happy Easter here, and I can glue that down. I can also have a happy Easter on the inside down here. I can also glue the happy Easter down here, which is great as well. Now I would color these and then put happy Easter right there. All right, and that would be just really cute to have that right there. So most likely I would put that right there for these, but I have put stuff on the band as well, because you definitely can go ahead. Now that I would glue beforehand and put that there. All right, but I most likely will glue this down at the bottom because that is just so cute. See? All right, so next, what we're going to do, we have all of our sides on, okay? And so we literally can go ahead and glue this down. Remember, the outside is what gets it. I'm just gonna make sure your edges are glued because you want it to stay in there. Yes. And just put it right there in the center and let her go. just like that. Hold, definitely hold it there for a while so that it stays correct. Yeah, that's great. I just take it all the way to the bottom on this one. So look at that little basket. Isn't that the cutest? Now for decorating. Oh my gosh. We have so many possibilities. All right, so I did die cut these little guys out. I even have a little, I have the goose out here. I think I have 2 geese, but I see only 1 right now, which is fine. And because I think I'm going to go a different route anyway, but this is really cute because you could put the goose right here at the top if you like. All right, you could also put the windmill right here if you like, right on this little corner, and then the goose on the other little corner. All right, like that. So that one on that side and this one on this side. Isn't that the cutest? So you can do something like that. Little goose on that one. And just decorating the handle if you like. I'm just going to show you possibilities. Then of course there's a little chick, and we can take the little chick and we can put the little chick just even right up here. Look at how cute that is. Just a little chick. All right, so you can decide how you want to do this here. This is a bunny I made out of a 1.5 inch circle and a daisy punch or daisy die. And then you just cut off all the daisies and choose the 2 ears that you want. And I put these are on sale also in the catalog, in the clearance rack, these little gems, which I loved for the ears. And look at that, wouldn't that be cute? See how that works? All right, so I definitely have a bicycle. I do like the bike. I would probably put the bike in here again, just rolling through the countryside, just a little decoration on the inside, but you can work with that. Then there is that that one set, that one stamp set that is on sale. This is the Easter Friends. I love this stamp set. I love how these come out. They are just the stamps. There never were dies, so you have to cut out, but it's really easy to fussy cut out. I fussy cut out the little chick. Look at this. This little chick. All right, there's that little chick. And then there is this guy, which can be right here. Look at these 2 guys right there. Isn't that the cutest little thing? All right, and then you could have your Happy Easter up here, or you could stamp your Happy Easter on the edges. Okay, you could use your stamp, which this, of course, does have a stamp that says Happy Easter. And it has sending warm and happy wishes this spring, my friend. May your days blossom with joy and happiness. It's just such a cute little set. Also, oh my gosh, look at this bunny. Look at this bunny. Now, when I do these kinds of things, okay, that go beyond, that will go beyond the basket, I do them double-sided. So if I turn this around, you will see that I did it double-sided. So there is the lighthouse. There is the boat. There is the other side of the boat. And there is the other side of the lighthouse. So, and you see here how I stamped the paper and how I did this one, stamping and collaging. And then for this one, you do need 12 inches by, I believe it was 2 inches or 1 3/4 inches wide, pretty much 1 3/4 inches wide. I made the strip 1 3/4 inches. I made it 12 inches long. It doesn't go all the way to the bottom when you make the big one. And I used double. I doubled the paper up, the designer paper. Of course, you can use a 12-inch cardstock and that'll work. So I thought that was really, really cute. So I hate to cover up anything that's really good, but here's a little chick and there you go. I think that's cute. Of course, you can decorate the back and the sides as you just saw. You can also stamp them. The other thing I have here is the ladybug. And the ladybug here, you have the ladybug punch. And what a great, of course, I just cut them out of designer paper, old designer paper always. And there you could have your little ladybug, decorate as you wish. Now, the other thing, you know, I love the gnomes, and I've been talking about the gnome dies that are still on sale. Look at how cute that would be. And instead of these, which I did get from a friend, all right, she bought me this die set. It was a gift. And so they're these little bunnies. They're not Stampin' Up. But here, look at this with the gnomes. Of course, you can use the gnomes, but look at this. You could have these two guys here on the side with the house, maybe. All right. So there's different things you can do. All right, this is not the right color, but I am going to be using this on a basket for sure. All right, maybe this basket shows it better. The coloring shows it better, but wouldn't that be cute? Again, two-sided if you do it that way because it goes beyond. The other thing I wanted to show you in that set, what I did die cut out, because it's the farm, I did go ahead and die cut out the cow, and I cut out the piggies, and I would probably I would not put the piggies here because I do want to see the chicken. I cut out the lamb here, so that works. Here is the punch of the big bunny. If you want to have the big bunny, that's great. All right, that would be so fun. And maybe a little chick here on the back side, maybe a little chick, but the bunny would be great. All right. And you could have a bird, of course. Here is a bird on here. And then here would be the little rabbit. So you decorate as you please. And I just wanted to show you some of the ideas and how you can decorate. So you saw the multiple ways of decorating. I will complete this and then post so you can see on my Facebook page. I will make a post of the completed one for you so you can see that front side. If you are watching this on YouTube, it's Renee's Paper Crafts Business. Please come see my Facebook page if you want to go ahead and see this little cute guy completed. So remember, you can go as intense as you like, all right, or not. Now, this sheet, now I do have the dimensions for this one, and that's what I do want to tell you before I go. All right, and then start decorating. But this is an 8.5 by 11. So that's what this is. Okay, so just your standard 8.5 by 11. The handle will have to be 12 by 1 3/4 thick, double if it's DSP. Okay, then the scoring, so the sides are done exactly the same way. Everything's done exactly the same way, is 2 by 4.5. Okay, so no, that's not what I meant. What I meant was, what is my my scoring all the way around, right? Or all the way around. At 2 inches. Yes? Okay. So then the DSP on the inside that I place is going to be the DSP is going to be a 4 1/4 and 1/4. And then this should be by 6 3/4 long. Okay. So 4 1/4 by 6 3/4. You only need one of those. Then this is a 4 1/4 by 1 3/4, since these are 2 inches long. Okay, and you need 2 of those, right? Then this one is going to be, since this is 7, that's going to be 6 3/4 by 1 3/4, and you would need 2 of those. All right. So it's done exactly the same way. You embellish as you please. It's fun. They make great gifts. Bring something to your friends at work. And so they are just so fun. And as you see, you can use so many different things for these and embellish. Your imagination is your limit for the embellishments. Okay, I think I'm done today. I think this worked out better, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like if you did. Go ahead and follow me. And if you want to see my YouTube, I will post my YouTube with my actual final basket, with my final basket made. All right, so that you can go ahead and go to that YouTube if you like. All right, okay. So if you see me on YouTube, please thumbs up, comment. What do you think? All right. Everyone, goodbye. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon. And I'll see you on Thursday.